Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Well, it's Monday, so I start off with poetry, and this is from Hafiz, called I Talk to My Inner Lover. I talk to my inner lover, and I say, why such rush? We sense there's some sort of spirit that loves birds and animals and the ants, perhaps the same one who gave you radiance in your mother's womb. Is it logical you'll be walking around entirely orphaned now? The truth is you turned away yourself and decided to go into the dark alone. Now you are tangled up in others and have forgotten what you once knew. And that's why everything you do has some weird failure in it. Remembering. That's what Plato says. It's all about remembering what we forgot through distraction of the senses at birth. All right, for my journal writing friends, write it if you want to, or discuss it within your own head, or elevate the conversation with others, or ask me what's going on with me. I'll tell you what's going on, and I'll hear from you. How do you take care of yourself emotionally? We have all different ways of self-care. So you self-care your body, your mind, your spirituality, but emotions are another part of the package, right? So how do you self-soothe yourself? You let me know. I'll tell you how I take care of myself. All right, my teacher, B.K.S. Anger, reminds us all that art is a never-satisfied muse. She demands something of us. No sooner than one goal is attained than the next appears in view. It's an open-ended, vast, completely spacious way of living life and seeing things. A lot of people are afraid of space. They're like so claustrophobic, or like kind of turned in on themselves instead of expanding, opening up. And that's what meditation is. It leads you to panoramic awareness, just like the river, which flows to the sea, has banks on either side to contain it, but it ends up into this broad expanse. And when you do meditation and do some self-effacement, self-noting, then you realize there's what they call total involvement without center or fringe. Great image. Just like the the corpus hermeticum back in the 11th century. God is an intelligible sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. Total involvement without a center and without a fringe. All right, now for my young friends out there, I recognize that youth is the song trying to be born. And whatever antics you show up with, that's to break open the dream that you're carrying inside. I understand that. It needs to be seen. It needs to be acknowledged. And as an elder, my job is to bless that aspect of our culture so you can take your proper place and add the unique creativity that you have. So remember, going home to the soul is not like going to an old age home. It's beyond time and space. It's beyond age. It's ageless, you could say. But we all have the Ancient of Days within us. So that's why I tell the youth, be old when you're young and young when you're old. Now, Matthew Fox, my Episcopalian minister, he shares with us, where does spirit dwell? Wherever we let spirit in. This is the truth that comes from our guts and our viscera and not from our head. It's in our heart, it's not in our brain. And that's why truth is revealed in our passion. And that's why we can't reject the two sides of the coin, the joy and the pain. They both make up life. Anything less than that, somebody's selling you a bill of goods. So with each new increase in consciousness comes conflict. Conflict is the beginning of consciousness. As soon as you go against the old status quo, that conflict, that's how it announces its presence. Something is happening. You can't reach the new stage without daring to challenge the old one. But if you challenge it in the wrong way with too much ego, you create what's called hubris, that over self-confidence. And then karma, right? The pendulum swings back. Too much hubris, you end up with nemesis, the justice, retributive justice, that comes back at you because your ego is so big, too much self-confidence. So just remember, it's one of the things I have the hardest time believing, that so many people get acclimated to the disallowance of well-being. They say it's all right to not feel good and not to promote the ways that feel good. It's hard to believe, but it's so true. But instead of criticizing other people, physician, heal thyself, look at the ways that you or me or anybody disallows well-being. And how do you change that? Well, allow well-being. But I would say the first thing to do is invite spirit into the problem. Let spirit solve your problem in its own way, and spirit will if you give spirit a chance. Have a great day.